So you guys, today we are replacing the power cord on our Jake Flight travel trailer. So what happened is we're newbies, we make mistakes. And Mike decided to run the AC with the microwave, and I didn't realize he had been doing it. And it fried one of our prongs. And then, I'm not gonna lie, I got lazy and I didn't come out and clean it right away, and it completely burnt up. So let me show you what that looks like. So here we have our cord. It's definitely, we're very lucky we didn't have a fire or anything. And then let me show you, we actually did have a surge protector on this. Let me show you our surge protector here. Alright, so we have this surge protector. Let me get the lid open here. We have this, dang it. We have this surge protector, and this is how it looked when I went to go unplug to leave from a beta to come to Fontainebleau. So that means we got to replace it, and right now RV techs are hard to come by, so we're doing it ourselves. Alright, first thing you need to do is obviously disconnect the power. So if you don't have a battery disconnect, which will look like this, I'm going to turn mine off now. If you do not have one of these, you can take your negative battery cable off, and that's going to do the same thing for you. And because I've been electrocuted more times than I'd like to admit, I'm going to hit all my breakers too, just to be extra positive. Pretty sure we're good because I had lights on in here anyway, and just to test, and the lights are out. But there's nothing wrong with being extra careful, right? Oh, and if you're wondering what these are child locks, because literally the day we moved in, Caspian constantly opened these and shut our breakers off. So we had to baby proof it. Okay, I decided to voice over this because you could not hear me while I was trying to do this, but I am talking, you're just not going to be able to hear it. So our power box for all of our wires for our main power cord going in is located under a panel that you unscrew that's directly under the pantry, and that's where your water heater is, so you could shut that flow off to it if you were going to winterize. What you're looking for is that silver box that you just saw. There are 2 screws on the top, so you can swing that open. You're going to unscrew those. That way you can get access to the wiring for your main power cord. And what that is that big, thick black cord, that main power cord, runs straight back, or at least in our Jayco it does. It runs straight back and down into a little hole. And that's a compartment area where when you're shoving your power cord back in your RV and pulling it back out, that's kind of like where it's stored at, where it winds up at. So right now I'm undoing those screws. I'm going to swing this panel open here, and inside you are going to see 3 wires. Oh, also pro tip, the clamps there on the sides of the black wire before it goes into the box, definitely unscrew those too. Learned that the hard way. That makes it a lot easier ahead of time. But you're looking for the 3 wires. There's going to be a copper, there's going to be a white, and there's going to be a, can't remember until it opens, a white or a black, but you're looking for 3. Once you get that open, you need to go outside, and you're going to cut off the part that plugs in to the box, your electric box when you get to the campsite. So I got wire cutters. I just snipped the end of this off. It took more muscle than I thought, trust me. You're going to snap the end of that off, and it's going to expose those same 3 wires that are inside. Now, if you were running into issues finding a new cord, I felt like a complete idiot. All you got to do is order an extension for your cord that matches your 30 or 50 amp. Order an extension and cut the ends off. It's the same thing. Actually, if you go to most camping stores, they will even cut those ends off for you if you ask them. So I've got the wires exposed now. What I'm going to do before I strip it or anything, do not strip it back or anything to access those wires at this point. You want to take the new cord and you want to tape it very tightly to your old cord that you just cut the ends off. This is really important. And why I say this is because there is no way to access that under compartment where the cord is stored. So if you undo the wires inside, the 3 wires inside in the box, and you pull your old cord out, you have no way to run that new cord up through there, because you can't fit your hand in through there. You're not going to be able to reach that hole in the very back to be able, because that's a lot of space. That's where your cord winds up at. So by taping your new cord to your old one, when you go to pull that through from the inside, pull it through from the inside, not from the outside, because remember, you want your new cord to run through there. When you go inside and you pull that cord through, eventually you get it all the way through, you keep pulling, and you'll get to your tape, and you can untape it, and then your new cord is completely wound in your RV, perfectly like the old one, and then you just have to hook up the wires. So that's the cool thing. I should have pointed it out when we were at that part, but when I was showing the new cord, you can see that camping store we went to, not only did they cut off that end for me, they went ahead and stripped back the outer thick black rubber insulation to expose those 3 wires for me to make my job even easier. The cord ran us, even at a camping store, the cord only ran us like $50. It wasn't bad. We are 30 amps, so it's a little cheaper, but this was way easier. I actually called Camping World first and told them, hey, I need a replacement power cord. And they literally acted like they had no idea what I was talking about, which is another reason why I hate Camping World. For the fact that that's all they do is RVs, they always seem clueless when you call and ask them something or you're trying to buy parts. So, called a local camp store, got very lucky, guy was awesome. It's Steve's RV it's right outside Mandeville, Louisiana. I can't remember the actual city. He was great though. Didn't charge me anything for cutting all that off, which was awesome. So here I am. I'm taping those 2 cords. Yes, I did not have scissors, so I used my teeth to cut that there. You use what you got, right? Those are taped up. Make sure, pull on a little bit, tug, make sure they're not coming apart, because that's the last thing you want is to already have pulled your old cord through and the old cord comes undone halfway through. You don't want that. So I'm going inside, and Mike is going to help feed that cord to me from the outside while I pull it through. You really do want someone else on the outside to kind of help if you've got them. If not, not impossible, but that's really going to help that process to go a little smoother, because that new cord is new. It hasn't got its flexibility yet. It's going to be kind of stiff going through there. Another thing on the Jayco, underneath that first panel under the pantry, there is another panel where you get into your furnace. It is kind of helpful because that cord runs up through there too. So if you want to undo that and help pull it along, that'll help a ton. So let's go to inside now so you can see what that looks from the. So another reason Mike stayed outside was to let me know when the cord was all the way to the end there. He knocked to tell me from inside. I wanted to continue to pull the cord all the way through into the house. And that's because when I'm done and I put the cord reconnected to the wires in the power box, we'll just go outside, pull that all the way back through, and it'll run it where it's supposed to be, and then put it back in again, and it'll wind up in the box. Trust me, you will thank yourself later if you do it this way. All right, inside the box, you can see I've already ran the black cord all through, took the tape off, and I've put the new one inside and reconnected copper to copper, white to white, black to black. Those wire connectors are extremely important. Make sure that you get them on there really tight. And if any wire did burn in there or copper, cut those off with your wire cutters and start fresh. You don't want any burnt on there whatsoever. The wire connectors have to be tight. I actually got one of those a little loose and didn't realize it, and it overheated again, and we had to redo this whole process. So definitely make sure they are tight. I'm not an electrician though, I'm a newbie. I'm doing the best I can. I did want to show you this. This is inside where the furnace is, and that's another port. So that's why you undo the bottom, so you can keep pulling that cord all the way through there, and it'll run between both boxes. Okay, so everything's done. The screws are back in now. Everything is reconnected. I had him pull the cord back out, so that way it's nice and tight in there, and then he's outside putting it back in now. So you see you got tight cord all the way through. You're all good there. You're going to put your panels back on. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to go, in my case, I turned my breakers off, so I'm going to go turn the breakers back on, and I'm going to turn the battery power back on inside, and we're going to see if the AC turns back on, because at this point we were in Louisiana, and I'm telling you, Louisiana heat is no joke. You cannot stay without AC, okay? It is not a game. They do not play. So I'm going to go kick it on, and it worked. We were good. I was pretty sure we were going to be okay anyway. It's a pretty simple, easy fix. Seriously, this was like a $50 job. Simple things like this, don't call a tech out. You can do this. You got this.